Today I'm going to be answering some of your guys' most asked questions. I wrote down all your guys' questions, so let's get into it. First question, we're starting off really easy. How old are you? Currently, I am 22. That's about it. How many piercings do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 right now. I did have this pierced, but I took it out because it was annoying. When I went to go put my AirPods in, I did have my nose pierced twice, but I took it out because it just kept getting infected and it was gross. What is my favorite art supply? This one's hard because I really do switch up what I'm working with in terms of art supplies a lot. Like recently we just did some crochet art. Now I have a bunch of yarn sitting at my house because I want to do more of it. I'd say anything 3D. I really like working with clay. I really like working with glass. I've really enjoyed working with glass a lot. I like doing mosaics and stained glass, which I'm working on some stained glass right now that I need to finish. But yeah, I'd say anything kind of 3D like that. I'd much rather work with like a 3D material than painting or drawing. Do I have any hobbies that are not art? I really like to go fishing. I honestly haven't done, ow, 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 ow. Anyways, I like to go fishing, but I haven't done that in a long time. I occasionally like to read. I like going for walks on the beach now that I'm in Florida. I like watching movies. But I'd say a lot of my hobbies circle around art. I'd say that art takes up most of my time. In a good way though, in a good way. Why art? I actually started liking art. Actually, let me back it up a few steps. When I was younger, I moved around schools a lot. Art was something that I could kind of like do at my little desk and people would be like, oh my gosh, you're so good. And it wasn't that I wanted the compliments, it was that I knew that that's how I could get people to talk to me. So I think that's kind of what got me started into liking art, was like it was my way of communicating and making friends with new people. What was the best art piece I've done in a ZHC crafts video? There's a few that I really like. I really liked my 3D printed velociraptor skeleton I did. I also really liked my clay sculpture of like the zombie head. And it's really funny because I really liked those pieces, but they didn't win. Best art piece that someone else has done on the ZHC crafts. There's been quite a few really good ones. I think I'd really have to go back and look for my favorite piece, but the one that comes off the top of my head is Izzy's costume art where she made like the bunny head. What is the worst thing about each of the ZHC crafts members? I would say Jake's is being too slow. David's is being super messy. Michelle's is honestly being too nice at times. Sometimes she just needs to punish people and not worry about hurting their feelings. I'd say that Zach's is probably that he can be uptight at times. And then Bean can just be annoyingly good sometimes. And sometimes it's just very frustrating. Do we actually get mad during the crafts challenges? Yes and no. Sometimes we get frustrated and we're just emphasizing it for the sake of content. Other times we have actually gotten mad. At the end of the day, it's not that serious. We just get over it. What is my most memorable moment from the crafts channel? Probably in the second candy art video where Jake goes and he like destroys my little pony that I'm working on. That was definitely, I like had just started my period and I was so emotional that day. That is burned into my head. Someone asked Instagram or YouTube. I feel like I should say YouTube, but my answer is Instagram because I scroll on Instagram a lot more than I do on YouTube. What is one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to you? There's been a lot. One time when I was in middle school, this guy that I had a crush on, he really liked to go fishing and I think he was making like fishing lures at the time and he had made an Instagram account. So I made a fake fishing Instagram account to follow his fishing lure account and then I DM'd him from there. We were just talking about like fish things and then out of the blue I'm like, do you know this girl from school? And I literally gave him my name and I was like, yeah, like what do you think about her? I thought I was being so clever, but that literally makes no sense. Why would I do that? But anyways, he found out it was me, obviously, because how would you not find out that's me? And I went to school and I just remember everyone looking at me like, she is insane. If I had $1 million, what would I do? First, I would buy a house because I want to buy a house. I don't want to rent anymore. 2, I would donate some of it to a big cat foundation, and then I would probably invest like most of it and then probably ball out on Christmas for my family. What is a country that you want to visit for the first time? I really want to go to Switzerland. I would also really like to go to France. I just think it would be so cool to see the Swiss Alps, and I think it would be so cool to see the Eiffel Tower. Do you act the same way on camera as you do off camera? I would say that what you see is what you get, with the exception that you're also seeing us in competition mode. For the most part, for me, and I think for everyone else on the team, we're pretty much the same. It's just like, it's like our normal self, plus if you were to give us a Red Bull. Describe your personality in 3 words. I'd say creative, passionate. I think a lot of people confuse passion for anger, but it's just me being passionate about what I do. Last one, hopefully funny. What is the worst crafts video you filmed? I think one of the costume videos was super fun and I loved the way my art turned out, but I remember getting so angry and so frustrated in that video because I think we were playing dodgeball and I was just getting pelted with dodgeballs after I had already gotten out, and then I also got a bunch of my art supplies taken away that I really needed, and I was so mad and so frustrated. There was just like a lot of things happening back to back, and I was probably already having a bad day, and I remember being just like, oh my gosh, this video needs to be done. I need to just hurry up and finish this costume and be done because I am so frustrated right now. There's just moments on the crafts channel where you just kind of forget that, hey, you're getting paid to just make art. It's not that deep, because you just get so attached to it, you can get frustrated very quickly. What happened to Jazz, Izzy, and Viv? None of us are going to be with ZHC forever. It's very similar to Selena Gomez not being on Wizards of Waverly Place forever, or Miley Cyrus being on Hannah Montana forever. You know, people leave. There just becomes a time where you kind of have to move on, and that's what they did. This is a big one. Do I have a boyfriend? I do have a boyfriend, and it is not Jake. Someone asked if I could share or talk about my Halloween costume for this year, and I'm so glad you guys are interested because it is one of my favorite things to do ever. This year is really gonna blow your guys' socks off. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm not even talking about in terms of the costume. That is all I'm going to say. What is one tip I can give for art? Don't be hard on yourself. I think it's very easy to be like, this isn't good enough. This isn't what I want it to look like. Why is it not turning out like how this person's is? Just stop being hard on yourself. If it turns out like crap, well, it turns out like crap, try it again. Be easy on yourself and just be creative and just have fun with it. Would I dye my hair red again? You never know, but getting my hair back from red to brown was extremely difficult and extremely expensive. So most likely no, but then again, you never know. I just finished my makeup, so I'm going to finish answering these questions while I go make myself a bagel. What was my first kiss like? Ooh. It was bad. I was on the couch in this guy's basement. He was like going in for the kiss. I was like, oh my gosh, stop, wait, I've never had my first kiss before, and I just freaked out, just started rambling nonsense talk about how it was my first kiss and how nervous I was and everything, and the dude was like, it's okay, you know, we can wait, we don't have to kiss. And I was like, no, like, I really want to kiss you, but like, I'm freaked out and everything, and I was just being an insane maniac. I ended up kissing him, and it was terrible because I had just made the entire thing such a big deal verbally. So yeah, it just wasn't good. Are there moments as an artist when you feel like you're not good enough? Yeah, 110%. I feel like that a lot, actually. If I don't finish a piece in one day, it rarely will ever get finished. And sometimes I look at all of the pieces that I haven't done and I'm like, okay, that's really pathetic. And I think that's when I get really frustrated as an artist. That's a moment as an artist that I don't feel good enough. In reality, you are a good enough artist no matter what your problem is. It's just learning and realizing, hey, all you can do is try to make yourself better. This one's a fun question. If I could bring back a dinosaur, what dinosaur would I bring back? Obviously, Velociraptor. That's such a silly question. I've got my bagel and now I'm going to answer the question that you guys are really interested in. Why I left ZHC. I always knew I was gonna leave ZHC, and I don't mean that in the way where it must have been really bad and that's why she knew she was always gonna leave ZHC. It's not like that, and it wasn't in the way where I thought I was gonna be too good for ZHC. It's not like that either. It's just simply I knew that there was gonna be a point where I wanted to do something different. I got to that point a little bit sooner than I thought I was going to. What happened was I got into a relationship earlier this year and he really wanted to go down to Florida and he asked me if I wanted to come with. I was faced with two choices. It was, you know, we can keep doing the same thing that we're doing in Texas and keep doing that same adventure, or we can try out this new one. And I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I'm still doing it right now, but I decided, you know, I'm young, I've got time to work on my goals. I decided Florida is where I want to do that at. I really want to keep making videos for you guys. I want to build our community and I want to keep working on art and doing things that I love and enjoy, and I have time to do that. I was working full-time with Zach, which was amazing and I loved it, but you don't have time to work on your own content as much as you'd like to. And now I have all the time in the world to be able to do that. Obviously, leaving the team is very sad. It's very heart-wrenching. These are people that I have considered to be my family for the last 4 years. When you move out of a small hometown and you are used to being around your family every single day and you decide, hey, I'm gonna pack my bags and go to California and work for this, you know, crazy big YouTuber, and you spend a lot of time with them. It's not even by choice that they get to become your family. It is just how it happens. I can say that I'm very blessed to have some pretty great people that I consider my family. And I decided to ask them what they thought of my move.
So funny, the first day I met Mackenzie, I forgot that I told her to come to our house.
Oh my gosh, I was so scared. I like rang the doorbell and Munchie opens up the door and I'm like, hi, I'm Mackenzie, and she's like, who? And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like, I flew here all the way from Wisconsin. Like, is this not the right date? Like was this a dream? Did I dream this all up?
That's so crazy. I literally called you like the day before.
Yeah.
And like I completely forgot I invited you out here.
I feel like I don't have a lot of girlfriends. I feel like you've been someone that I can kind of go to and just be a girl with. When I need someone who can be like that, you have always been there and you have always built me up. So I really appreciate that.
I don't want to cry. I'm gonna keep crying. I'm so glad that you're coming back for videos, because I feel like if I suddenly stop seeing you, I'd be just really sad.
One of my favorite memories with Ken's is when I convinced you to buy the Lana Del Rey tickets with me. We were both sitting on Ticketmaster and the tickets came out and I told Ken's that, oh my god, Kenzie, you should just buy a ticket. I know you don't want to go that much, but you should get it because you can resell it and be a scalper.
It's so bad.
I told you to just buy them because no matter what, we'll make our money back. But it ended up being like $1,200. We were both kind of just like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And you could not resell them.
No. It did end up being super fun.
That whole night was so fun.
You definitely taught me to be a lot more positive. Because I think sometimes I can get really down on like myself or just like everything happening. And I think you shed light on like a new perspective that helped me to look at things with a little bit more positivity.
So I love that. I love you.
First project that Jake and I ever worked on, we got into a big
I
fight.
remember that, and I was not thrilled with this team.
We flew to North Carolina to work with Jimmy's team. We painted a house for him, and I had never painted before. I'm trying my best. I'm really working really hard. And Mackenzie is working on half the mural, and she's doing a lot more work than me because she's had experience and she was more well-equipped with that. And then all of a sudden, she's giving me attitude like, oh my God.
Okay, here's what actually happened. Jake and I are working on this mural, right? And Jake's taking his sweet time, and I'm noticing it, and Zach keeps coming up to me, and he's like, hey, like, what's going on? Why are you guys taking so long? And I'm like, well, I'm trying here. Obviously, Jake's taking a little bit longer. So I go and I tell Jake, I'm like, hey, like, what you're doing is really cool and all, but we need to, like, pick up the pace. Basically, we had a giant fight, and we decided, well, this is not gonna work if you're gonna be staying around more, so we got over it, and yeah, we've been friends ever since.
Who, like, resolved it with who?
Well, no.
Yes, I always resolve things with you.
Not true.
That is
Not
110%.
true. Not true. The last time we got into a fight at the studio, I came up and I said I had a dream last night that I apologized.
Okay, that
so-
was one time out of literally the rest of the time.
Not true. We both grabbed each other and we said we have to make up right now.
Jake is notorious for taking like 3-day breaks where he just will not talk to me. Silent treatment, doesn't do anything, and then I will go up to him because I'm bigger than the two people, and I'll be like, Jake, this is stupid. We can't keep doing this. And then he'll be super reluctant at first, and then he gives up.
No. Or we'll be in the same room and you'll say something like, oh, it's pretty good. And then I'll make a little joke back.
Yeah, but you really make me work for it. It is terrible.
But anyway, after we made up on that first shoot, we started to become really good friends, and we took a snapshot of us side hugging like this.
Yeah, that's a disgusting picture. It's literally
so
bad.
I mean, sometimes we do get a little bit sassy, sometimes we do get a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
But, you know, most of the time, it's really just us laughing for 90% of the day. Let's cry.
I thought there was maybe like a 20% chance you might move to Florida.
Really?
Obviously, I'm a little sad, but I think I was a little happier after I found out you still want to come sometimes, you still want to film with us sometimes. Even though we're not with you and working with you all the time, I think it's still really nice that we get to keep you in some videos because we've worked with you for so long and we really enjoy filming with you. And I've known you since like you were so young.
Yeah.
How old are you? Like 19? 18? Yeah, so I've known you for quite a while. I feel like we've all become like pretty good friends.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're not like gone forever, but I'm also sad that we don't get to work with you all the time. Something I can really appreciate about you is like when you're angry, you just let everything loose, and like sometimes it's not easy to just show emotion like that, especially when we're like trying to film and stuff. But I think you do it in like a very fun way where you can still be friends with everyone at the end of the day, but also at the same time you can like show your emotion and like be yourself. Also, you know what's funny? I think I've hugged every single person on the team except for you.
No, I've hugged you.
What?
Yeah.
When?
Stained glass. When I won that big stained glass butterfly. You've never directly hugged me.
Okay, I'll give you a side hug since you're leaving, but never again.
Okay.
This will be the only time you ever get a hug initiated by me.
Okay.
And it needs to be a side hug. You can't look at me, you need to look away, and you will never get one ever again unless you move out of the country.
It's gonna be so uncomfortable.
Okay. Here. There. Have fun in Florida.
Thank you. Can I look at you now?
Sure. No.
Okay. Time for a bite of this bagel before I start crying. I just want to give a big thank you to you guys because you are the reason that I am able to do what I am doing now and what I have been doing for the past 4 years. Your love and support is what keeps me going. All of your comments are read. They are loved and appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you all. Bye.
Now that you have 200,000 subscribers, you gotta pay Jake.
I literally make like $30 a video, if that. My last video made $6.
3%.
What is even 3% of $6?
Like
I heard 30.
18 cents, maybe?
I'll give you 18 cents.